Hi there, I'm Francie White. I'm a Feldenkrais practitioner and a somatic experiencing practitioner here in Eugene, Oregon. And what I have been doing is a series that I call Madness with Pelvic Circles. So I have a problem in my back, and so I have been doing pelvic circles in every possible variation I can think of. So that's why I'm doing this, and I'm videoing it for you so you can follow along. So this is pelvic circles number 3, and if you haven't already done pelvic circles 1 and pelvic circles 2, go back and do that, and this is pelvic circles number 3. So let's begin by, as always, sinking into the floor and just noticing how we're lying on the floor. And when you're ready, bring your feet up to standing. And let's always start with the cardinal directions before we just launch into pelvic circles. So just take your tailbone towards the floor and away from the floor a few times, doing this pelvic tilt. And it's important to notice how the movement of your pelvis is traveling up your spine into your head. And many times it's going to get stopped somewhere along the way. This is part of the problem. We're looking for the places that are not moving. So if it's getting stopped along the way and your head is not bobbing up and down, go ahead and just prime the pump and let your head go with the movement. So you're suggesting to the nervous system that maybe these two things want to be connected. And so pause on that. And now press on one foot to lift your hip up, and then do the same thing on the other side, and just roll back and forth between the right and the left hip. And as you're doing this, notice again how the movement of the pelvis is moving up through your spine. So it's going to be twisting your spine a little bit. And as that movement goes up through your spine, your head is going to want to move with the movement also. And if it doesn't, just go ahead and do that. Let your head roll with your pelvis. And just for fun, you can go opposite every once in a while. That feels really great. That's everybody's favorite movement. So now pause. And now we're going to begin and do our pelvic circles. So just go around clockwise or counterclockwise, however you choose to do it. And the idea is just to make the circle as smooth and as round as possible. And it's as smooth and as round as is possible for you at this time. I could not do this when I first started, and now mine are pretty smooth because I've just been doing this a lot. And that's what will happen also with you. If you just keep doing these things, the nervous system is learning how to bring in all these different muscle groups in the most efficient way to make the movement the most efficient possible. It's an intelligent nervous system, so all we have to do is give it the opportunity to learn. So I'm going to remind you also, change directions. I'm going to remind you also always to stay underneath any level of pain or discomfort. And this is very important. We don't want, if the nervous system is in pain, it's not going to learn. Okay, so once you've done these pelvic circles a few times, here's the variation that we're going to do today. So in pelvic circles number 2, I believe it was, we had one leg long and we did pelvic circles. And this prevents this side, this guy is now in 2 dimensions and this guy's in 3 dimensions. So the pelvis has to learn how to work around the fact that this guy is constrained. And then we did it the same way on the other side. So if you want to, go ahead and do that a few times. And you might notice that the foot is going to be doing pelvic circles. So now for the next pelvic circle variation, elongate both legs. Now this is going to be a little bit more difficult because now both sides are constrained by the floor. So don't try and keep the movement as big as it was before. Let it be smaller. one of the things that I learned in Feldenkrais method is when something gets harder, put less effort into it, and then it will become easier. So with this movement, notice that your feet can do circles and they can help in the movement. And so a lot of what we want to do in the Feldenkrais method is connect all the different parts of us as we're moving. I say the foot bone is connected to the head bone. They change directions. And again, notice how the feet are doing circles, pelvis is doing circles, your chest is doing circles, your head is doing circles, so everything is connected. And if you have a little place that is holding and is not connected, then go ahead and just let your head move with the movement and see what happens if you just release your chest and let it go. And then pause, bring your feet back up to standing, and then this is the best part. Do the pelvic circles again. And I can just guarantee you it's going to feel easier. The nervous system has learned, it's found some new pathways for doing this movement under constraint, and it's going to take those new pathways in to the old method and change directions, and just notice how much easier it is. So this is one of the best things you can do for back pain. And it really helps with just about everything. I mean, if you have plantar fasciitis, if you have problems with your knees, if you have problems with your neck, it's very likely you may have a stuck pelvis that may be causing it. So if you go through this entire series of pelvic circles lessons that I'm planning to do, I think you're going to see a big difference at the end of it. And feel free to pick out your favorite one and do it every day if you want to. You can do whatever you want. Do what you like to do. So thanks for joining me today, and remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I think you get notifications when I have new videos out. And also you might check out my website, integratedselfeugene.com. I hope you have a great day.